Ayo, what's good everyone? Hope you've been having a fun time with all of the new content, and welcome to another Should You Pull video for Ever Crisis. This time we have new weapons and outfits for Yuffie and Matt, and I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of expecting a new physical lightning weapon for Leviathan, but I guess this banner is catering a little bit more towards the ranking event than Leviathan. So, we get a snazzy new outfit for Yuffie, Shinobi Hawk, which has physical ability potency and Earthplate Arcanum, which makes her possibly the new best Earth DPS in the game, taking Lucia's spot. Yuffie's new weapon, Hawkeye, is a physical Earth-based weapon, and at first glance it looks like a medium cast speed, but don't quote me on that. So let's talk a little bit about Hawkeye. Hawkeye, in most people's eyes, is a fairly mediocre Marvel Avenger in the Marvel Universe. Wait, that's not right. Hawkeye is a pretty good weapon. It is not in the top 5 tier of physical attack stat, but it has pretty good R abilities, and its selling point is that it has a strong physical Earth command ability that can get even stronger at 70% HP, and it has a sigil boost. Matt gets his Aidman's white coat, which looks pretty cool as well, and it gives boost HP and boost heal. So a very good outfit for the best support slash healer in the game right now. He gets the Syringe Rapier as his weapon, and yeah, I hope his allies are not afraid of needles. It also looks like a medium cast speed weapon, but who am I to say? So, Syringe Rapier actually is in the top 4 tier of healing stats in the game, and it has very good versatile R abilities in boost HP and buff debuff, so that can be used as a main weapon or a sub weapon, and the real juice is in the command ability, which is AoE, magic and physical defense at high potency at max, and yeah, it's only at 4 ATB, so that is very, very good. And there are also some healing capabilities with the All Cure support materia. So for Yuffie's weapon, I'm only going to compare it to one other weapon in the game, which is one of the best weapons in the game, and that is Zack's Stream Guard. And the other reason why I'm comparing them is because they have the same tier of command ability. And also so that I could just compare her weapon to one of the best, so we can sort of right off the bat see where her weapon stands in relation to the rest. So let's take a look. Obviously, Zack's weapon's primary stat is a lot higher because Yuffie's does not make the top 5 in her primary stat physical attack. The R abilities are on Yuffie's side, at least the points are. She has more points in her R2, but of course Zack's weapon has that awesome all allies magic attack boost, so it kind of wins out there. In terms of support materia, they both have sigil boosts, pretty standard, and the command abilities are actually exactly the same. Very powerful elemental command abilities that can get even more powerful at 70% HP. Obviously the only difference is one is magical, one is physical, one is fire, one is earth. As for Matt's weapon, I'm going to compare it to the other 2 weapons in the game that have double AoE defense boosts, and the first of those is Glenn's Hardcore Squad. And Glenn's Hardcore Squad is, in terms of stats, a little bit more on the offensive side, whereas Matt's Syringe has a lot more healing stats. In terms of R ability points, Matt has more R1 points, and his R ability points are more relevant. For instance, the boost crit is kind of random on the Hardcore Squad. In terms of support materia, Matt's wins out again because it has the All Cure spells. And then, of course, the command abilities is where it matters. So Matt's second buff, which is the physical defense, is situational. So it's conditional. He has to have 50% HP or more, but it reaches high potency for both buffs, whereas Glenn's doesn't have a condition but can only reach mid potency, making it not as good. And of course, as mentioned before, the major selling point is that Matt's weapon only costs 4 ATB to do those buffs, whereas Glenn's costs 5 ATB and the buffs are not even half potency. So much better than the current weapon. The other weapon that is very similar is Aerith's Mithril Rod, which also yields double defenses for AoE. And these stats of these two weapons are actually very comparable, nothing much to say there. But the R abilities, not only does Matt have more R1 points, his abilities are much more versatile and standard, can be used as sub-weapons pretty easily, and can be used in tons of situations, whereas Aerith is a lot more specific with magic defense and lightning resist. Then we get to the support materia where Matt wins out again because he has the cure all spells, and Aerith has the buff debuff, which in my opinion is actually trash right now because it only applies to materia, and those types of materias are really bad in the current state of the game. And that would be like Debrave, Defaith, Barrier, etc. Then for the command ability, pretty much the same thing as with Glenn's weapon. Matt has that condition to get his second AoE buff off, where Aerith's weapon doesn't have any conditions, it just automatically buffs both physical and magical, but Matt's can reach high potency and Aerith's can only reach mid potency. And Matt's is 4 ATB, Aerith's is 5. So all in all, against the other weapons of its type, which are double defensive AoE buffing weapons, this weapon destroys the competition. So in order to get a bit of a better look at the power level, I have also compared it to Centipede, which as we all know is a very top tier weapon in the game. And for this comparison, Centipede actually has a higher heal stat, which is like the second best heal stat in the game, and the Syringe is pretty good with the third best heal stat in the game. The R ability is actually very similar, 88 total points on the Centipede versus 85 total points on the Syringe. It's just that the Centipede is more front loaded with its R ability points, so more in the R1, whereas the Centipede is more spread out, so it has more buff debuff points. Then when it comes to the support materia, I would say they're actually pretty comparable, because the Cure All spells gives you the ability to do some AoE healing on a weapon that doesn't have AoE heals, and the Centipede, which does have AoE heals, has the heal boost, so you can put a nice single target heal materia there and give it a decent single target healing potential. Last but not least, the command abilities. So 4 ATB versus 5 ATB, we can already see the Syringe is measuring up, but they both provide high potency physical defense buffs, but the Centipede heals, and the Syringe does not really heal, but provides magic defense instead. So pretty situational, and they kind of conflict with each other, sort of in a way, but both very good weapons. So, as mentioned, Yuffie's weapon is a pretty good weapon, and as always, it complements her outfit very well. It is just outside of the top 5 physical attack tiers in terms of stats. It is actually the first physical attack earth weapon in the game, so that is pretty unique. And talking about uniqueness, it also has Yuffie's first sigil boost, so that is also pretty unique. And in the end of the day, it's got a very good command ability. 850% is already good, but the extra from the HP is fantastic. So reasons to pull on this weapon is if you don't already have a good earth weapon like Lucia's Holiday Revolver, or if you specifically want a physical based earth weapon, which this is the only one right now. It also combines really well with Razor Ring, no matter which hand you put offhand, subhand, to give you straight sweet spot level 8 earth potency without even needing to use sub-weapons for earth potency. And then as mentioned, of course, the sigil is nice as well. For Matt's weapon, it is a very good weapon. It has the 5th best heal stat in the game, and 4 ATB to cover both physical and magical defense AoE at high potency at max is really, really good in terms of a defensive weapon. And then of course it also has some healing capabilities with the all cure spells. Not great, but if you have quite a high boost heal R ability in your build, you can actually make use of it. And a strong cure materia, you can actually heal quite a lot AoE as well. Overall, if you don't have a good AoE physical defense weapon like Assault Gun or an AoE magic defense weapon like Core Defender, this is a very good weapon to pick up. Or if you kind of want both of the defenses consolidated into one weapon, it is also a very nice weapon to have. And of course, it is a great sub weapon for any supportive character because of the R abilities. And then overall, should you pull for these weapons? That kind of really depends on where you are at in the game, what kind of weapons you already have, what weapons you don't have. But overall, I would say it is actually a pretty skippable banner. There's nothing like super crazy in this banner, nothing like really broken or really OP, but that is not to say that the weapons aren't good. They are both very good. As mentioned, if you get max out Razor Ring and Hawkeye, you can make Yuffie the best Earth DPS in the game and have her sub weapons open for whatever other R abilities you want, because your Earth potency will be sorted out. Other than that, it is her first sigil and the first physical attacking Earth weapon, as mentioned, so those are things to consider. Matt's weapon is also very good for ATB. To do what it does is actually incredible, but also very much depends on what you have and what you need. And yeah, so nothing super crazy broken OP, but they are still very good weapons. Personally, I wanted to skip on this banner, but I'm actually pulling on the banner just to get Matt's outfit because I'm still running that crappy 4-star purple outfit, and I really need a good outfit for Matt, who is, you know, undisputed best healer / support in the game right now. So that is my look on it. I am going to be suffering, using all my gems basically just to get an outfit. But, you know, if I get the weapons in the meantime, it's not a bad thing. So let me know in the comments if you are pulling on these weapons, if you agree or disagree with my takes on any of these weapons. And yeah, thank you as always for watching. Best of luck in your pulls if you decide to pull. And thank you for the comments. I really appreciate it. See ya.